Hello, Yuna. So tell me about your training regime. I mean, what sort of time do you get up? How many hours a day do you train?
Well, nowadays it's off season, so I wake up at 8 and I start warming up off the ice at 10, and then I started skating 11. So 1 or 2 hours skating and then more of the off-ice training.
So before a big competition, I mean, how intensive is the training then?
Usually I train for like 6 or 7 hours a day and 6 days a week, and it's really tough.
I bet.
Yeah, for me. I skate 2 sessions and then 2 or 3 sessions because of the choreography. Yeah.
Do you ever have mornings when the alarm goes off and you just think, oh, leave me alone, I want to sleep, I don't want to train?
I always feel that every morning. So yeah, it's very difficult to wake up and start training, but I'm used to it. Yeah.
What gets you out of bed? Is the passion still there?
Well, I don't know, I'm not sure. Well, I always think that, oh, this is my job, I must do it. So I think that's all. I think there's nothing special, but well, I've been doing it so long time, so yeah.
This is obviously very different to a competition. You know, there's maybe half a dozen people watching you. How does it feel when there are thousands of people in the stands that are cheering for you? What's that sensation like?
Well, in competition, when I start performance, I try not to think about all the pressure from the fan, but I got a lot of energy from them. Always, they make me more perfect. And then, yeah, and of course, in Korea, I don't have much more chance to skate in Korea, but I've been doing a few shows in Korea, and I love skating from my Korean fans. Yeah.
But I mean, the pressure obviously is there from the Korean side because you're such an icon to many people here. Do your nerves ever get to you? Do you ever get so nervous you think, I don't think I can perform?
Yeah, sometimes, but it's not about the pressure from my fans. It's all about me. And if I have done a perfect practice, I don't get nervous at all. But sometimes I don't feel really ready for the competition. So at that time, I got nervous so much.
Now, you're very active in nurturing new talent and helping Korea to find the next you. When you were training, when you were younger, I understand you had to train at night because there weren't enough ice rinks, the facilities weren't there. Has this changed?
많이 바뀌지는 않은 것 같아요.
I don't think this has changed much. Although the number of ice rinks and available time for skating has increased since then because there are more new skaters, we're still in great shortage of facilities. It's sad to see young skaters practicing very early in the morning or very late at night. It's still a harsh environment to train new talented skaters. So I think it would take a long time to establish the right environment.
시간이 많이 걸릴 것 같아요.
Now, you started skating at the age of 5, and your coach at that time said that they saw something in you, and that's why they wanted to encourage you to go further. Have you since spoken to that coach? Have they explained what it was that they saw in you?
사실 그때는 제가 정말 어렸을 때고.
I was very young then. I didn't even know there was such a thing as figure skating. So I started skating with no idea. The coach suggested the idea of professional skating to my mom. I didn't know any of it. I just skated for fun. I still see him sometimes, and I'm grateful to him. We would have missed such a chance if he hadn't told my mom what he thought of me. I think it was fortunate to have crossed paths with such a person.
Just a few years later, you started competing internationally. Do you remember your first international competition?
그때 국제대회는 이제 ISU.
Back then, it wasn't an official ISU competition. It was a beginner's level, one below the junior level. I went with a fellow trainee. I just went there to gain some experience before a junior level competition without any thought of winning a medal. I unexpectedly did well, and many people complimented me. I really didn't expect it. It just turned out to be that way. I was too young to understand what was going on, but it was the first small step that made me think, I can do it. So it was important in a way that helped me maintain a good record even after the debut at a junior level.
Now, as I say, you started skating at age 5. Do you ever feel that you've been training and pushing so hard for so long that you've missed out on anything, on part of your childhood?
아무래도 어렸을 때부터 훈련을 했기 때문에
I did miss out on much of the school experience. I believe it's natural to lose track of many things when you focus so much on one thing, so I don't think much of it now, and I'm happy where I am.
Now, your mum is obviously your biggest supporter, and she has written a book about the sacrifices she's made to get you to where you are today. Do you think you would be here if it wasn't for your mother's support?
어렸을 때부터 거의 매일
I've trained with her almost every day since I was very young, and I've had arguments and disputes with her. Coaches are there for you, but not always. I've learned a lot by being with my mother, and I think it's because of her that I was able to focus and train harder with no breaks. If it weren't for her, it would have been hard to be where I am now.
So if in the future you have a daughter or a son, would you encourage them to follow in your footsteps?
제가 이제 이 길을 오래전부터 걸어왔기 때문에
I've been in this field for a long time, so I don't think I'll make them follow in my footsteps. I know how hard it is because I've been doing it, and although other careers would be just as hard, I wouldn't recommend it to them.
Coming up, the question that stumped South Korea's golden girl.